Welcome to the Talk the Talk Club podcast where we talk about anything and everything you can name of. And today we're going to discuss something I call crazy in love. So before I even get into it, I'm not calling anybody with a mental health disorder crazy at all. I dated two people, one with borderline personality, one with complex personality, and I got family members who have mental health issues as well. So don't come for me. Don't ever. All right. So today I want to talk about, at least talk to the people who have mental disorders that are thinking of dating. There's a couple things that I gather if it's for you, or I think it's things that may help, along the line when it comes to dating. First thing is make sure you are ready to date. If you need to go to therapy, I suggest you go to therapy, check it out. If medication is something that you feel that you need to take, I would say get on the medication, see how it works for you. Or if there's anything else that you need, I would say do that first. Regulate what needs to be regulated, work on yourself. And then when you're actually ready to start dating and putting yourself out there, then you should. But before all that, you want to make sure that you're good and you're checking in with yourself. Second thing will be to let them know off the bat what is actually going on with you. You don't want to leave things out and then something happens. You want to be upfront with the person. If you have borderline personality, if you have schizophrenia, or whatever the case may be, you want to let that person know ahead of time. That way they have the decision whether they want to walk away or continue talking to you. Give them that option to actually figure that out, and it also gives them the opportunity to do research and figure out what they want. They read it and they do their studies and it's just something they can't find themselves doing. Don't get mad at them because you know more than they know how you are, how you respond, how you react, and all the little things about you that makes you special in your own way, your love language as far as, all right, I have this disorder and I need this type of person, somebody who can understand, somebody that understands that this isn't an easy road, this isn't a quick fix kind of thing. These are sometimes a lifetime journey that you have to go on. Thirdly, understand that dating you isn't easy. Just like they're understanding with you, you have to be understanding with them. And you have to be actually doing your part, like I said in step 1, to actually be going to therapy and whatever the psychologist recommend or the therapist recommend, you got to do the work. Because you can't expect your partner to bend over backwards and guess what's going on in your brain. And sometimes you don't even know what's going on in your own mind. So how do you expect them to understand? So the best thing you can do is get the help you need so you can have understanding of what's going on within yourself. Fourthly, I would say you have to be able to make light of the dark times and the dark situations. For example, say if you are comfortable with calling yourself crazy in a joking way, or you comfortable in calling yourself nuts in a way, or whatever that thing is. Like from my dating experience, like they'll tell me straight up, I'm crazy. I'm crazy. And I know they're joking, but they're doing it in making light of a situation because they know they have something that sometimes it's a lifetime thing. You have to be comfortable, of course, with making your own jokes. It can't be always dark and grim and everything like that and woe's me. And if you're cool with joking about it and you're cool with them joking about it, make it fun. When those times get hard, trust me, you are going to need a laugh. You're going to need a laugh because my girl will be like, I'm crazy. And then when she goes on her whatever moment that is, and I'll say something like, you cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs today, huh? And then we'll make a joke out of this situation. But you have to know when to make those jokes. It's all about understanding each other and knowing what works with your love language. You have to work with your partner. It's not all about you. And they have to understand that it's not all about them. It's teamwork. And this whole thing is a journey. And it's a long journey because some mental disorders can be treated to the point where it's no longer there. BPD, if you get the right treatment, you can actually recover fully from it. For those who don't know what that is, that's borderline personality disorder. And then some mental disorders, you just have to take the medication, or if there's a natural way that you know about that a doctor recommend, you can do that. And sometimes that thing is a lifelong journey. So you always want to make sure you tailor it to yourself. A lot of times people have never been with somebody who has a personality disorder. Some people don't know anybody in their immediate family who has it. All they know is probably stuff they see on TV or those homeless people that they see walking in the streets. It's a very narrow-minded thing. They don't, what I found out that a lot of people don't know, you can have a mental illness and be completely functioning. You're on your medication, you're doing what you got to do, and people would never know. And people be like, oh, they're normal, whatever that means. I'm using that very loosely. I don't think anybody's normal, not even myself. What is normal? But their way of saying that, you know what I'm saying? So they have a very narrow mind and very ignorant to it. It's not their fault. You know what I'm saying? That's why you give them the chance. You tell them what's going on with you. You let them read what it's about. And if they really like you and they really think they can take that chance and make you happy and you make them happy, let them go for it. But you gotta let them know ahead of time. See, I was blindsided because my ex with borderline personality disorder, she knew something was going on with her. She may not have known what it was at the time, but she knew. And she knew this before she even got into a relationship with me. And that was one of the biggest problems. Should have gave me the option. Even if you didn't know what's wrong with you completely, you should be like, okay, I have these thoughts sometimes, or I have this and that, and let me decide, okay, if this was for me or if it wasn't for me, because in the honest truth, me personally, because I have people in my family who have, this isn't anything new. I've been dealing with this pretty much my whole life. So me, if she would have told me ahead of time, I wouldn't have walked away because I'm already understanding of what's going on. But a lot of people don't. Towards the end, it was becoming too much. The emotions were now no longer being regulated. And everything I did was wrong. Even if I try to fix that, it wasn't good enough. It was never going to be enough. No matter what I did. People argue. That's relationships. You're not going to always agree with each other. You don't want that person walking on eggshells, and you don't want to walk on eggshells, because that's when a relationship is definitely going to end, because they're scared to say something to you because you're going to blow up on them. You got to make it easy for both of each other, because the dynamic in itself is just different. But the dynamic is already at a disadvantage because they're probably used to dating somebody who doesn't have a mental disorder. Don't matter how you try to put in your head, it's like, yeah, it's like dating somebody else. They just have, delusions and paranoia, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, the average person is not paranoid or hearing things. So if you would have something like schizophrenic saying or anything like that, you can't be like, well, you should just get over it because people just, see things that are not there all the time. If you said something like that to me, I would definitely say you are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, in the sense that you are so out of touch with reality that you would think that people on a daily basis see things that are not there. Love yourself, work on yourself, do what you need to do. And then I want to speak to the people who are dating somebody with a personality disorder. You have to have patience beyond anything you can imagine, or any relationship you've been in. Sometimes you are going to want to throw your partner out a window. And sometimes you may even open the window just in case, because you know today is not starting off good, but you don't do it. You love them. You know them. If they told you up front, you already know what you're getting yourself into. You know, if they told you up front, you did your research, and it's telling you, okay, you're going to have rough days. It's going to be days where they're just not hearing you. You have to decide within yourself if this is something I want to do, something I want to continue, or it's just not for me. And sometimes it's just not for you. It's okay. You know, you love that person, but it's okay to tell them that, you know, I don't think this is the type of relationship I want to be in, or you're not the partner for them because you just don't have that patience. Like I said before, if I didn't have anybody in my family that didn't have a mental health issue, I would probably have just broken up within the first 6 months, because she was doing things that was just not logical, or not, you know what I'm saying? Just doing things that, you know, that was just so off at times where I'm like, yo, what is going on with this chick? So trust me, I understand. But the reason why I really stayed is, one, I loved her, and I just have the patience to know that a lot of the stuff they're doing, they're not trying to be malice majority of the times. You know, it's hard coping with something that affects your life on a daily basis in a negative way, you know, so my heart does go out for them. You know, this episode is called Crazy in Love, but I'm not calling anybody crazy. I'm using a phrase to mash all of this in together. But, you know, you can be friends with them if the relationship doesn't work. At the end of the day, these people, they're cool. They're funny. They're loving. And sometimes the way they care is just different. It's not like the average person care. You know, they may flip out on you because they love you. I'm not saying that's right at all. You know what I'm saying? But that comes with regulating your emotions. But they do love, and they want to give you the best, and they want the best for themselves as well. But it takes patience figuring them out. If you like playing video games or watching movies, spend some of that time actually studying and doing research on your partner. That way you can know them a little bit more. If you understand why they're acting the way they're acting, it helps in the long run, because they may say something that sounds really messed up towards you, but they're reflecting something else that's going on with them that's not really about you. You just happen to be in the room. Gotta take a step back and be like, okay, can we take 5 minutes? Or, babe, I'm gonna go to the store real quick, get some fresh air, whatever the case may be. But you have to figure out what's good with your dynamic. Like, my girl now has complex PTSD. To me, she's the funniest person I know. Like, I love her for the fact that she is hilarious. And sometimes I think that she's like writing these jokes and testing them out on me, because they're the funniest thing I ever heard. But it comes naturally, and I joke around too. And as funny as she is, and as loving as she is, and as caring as she is, and how beautiful as a person she is, she has those days where she is just being impossible. There's nothing you can say to her. There's not enough "I love you, baby." There's not enough "I'm not going anywhere" that I can say. In those days, I just try to love more. I do more understanding. And sometimes if it gets too heated, baby, let's take a break for 5 minutes, you know, like not break up, but let's, you know, take some time to just breathe and get back to it. Something to de-escalate the problem. This is not a one size fit all. So I want to wrap it up. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Talk the Talk Club, where I talk about anything and everything. Go by the name of Folly. If you like what you heard, you know, make more suggestions, or do you want me to continue to talk about whatever, entertainment, whatever it is, just leave comments, Let me know how you feel.